Hi, this is Scott. We're talking about marketing, how to promote new releases. The question that I see so much that people send to me and that people talk about in our Facebook group for record labels is how long should an album rollout be? So what that means is when you announce an album or when you have an album in your hands from the artist that's mastered, how long from that time until the actual release day? How long should that be? So there's varying different things, and obviously we see some artists that will just have a record done and then release it. And then we see some, I talked to Sub Pop and they told me back then that they were doing like 22 weeks. That's a half a year from when they receive the masters to when they release it. We also have to be considerate, like, do we want to announce an album that's 3 months away? I know a lot of fans get kind of frustrated by that because they're like, oh, well, thanks for telling me about something great that's going to happen in 4 months from now. You know, it's so irrelevant. So that's something that we really have to keep in mind. So I want to give you some advice. Some of this comes from our course because Jamie Coletta, who teaches a module on how to build a release plan, she talks about this way more in depth, but I want to just kind of scratch the surface. And she talked about singles. It's maybe ideal for 1 to 2 months. That really gives you a lot of time. Listen, having time is really beneficial. It allows you to, first of all, what if your distributor is backed up and you know they need a lot of time, or there's a mistake with the artwork, or there's a mistake at the pressing plant and you've got this album. This allows for all these little mistakes to happen when you have a generous amount of lead time. Lead time is the time leading up to the release. And so giving yourself a lot of time to work with can really take the stress off of you as a label and the artists and the publicists and the people working with your label. And so give yourself as much time as possible. It shows people that you're professional. And you know, there's things like Bandcamp, for example. When you want to submit your album to their editorial team to be considered to be featured, I think they require 2 months, at least 2 months, I think. And so, and that's not because they're, you know, pretentious or something. That's because they're just have their crap together and they're planning out their schedule and they are planning their week newsletter and promotions, and they're planning it out 2 months ahead. That's just how they work. And so give all these people lots of time to work with your record. So for an album, I would say between 2 to 4 months is ideal. For me, I actually am leaning more on the 4 to 6 months, which I know sounds kind of crazy, but I like to have the masters done and I'm already building up relationships and I'm already starting to talk to the pressing plant to get quotes. And I really think that 6 months for me is just a really comfortable time to start the process. Now, when do you tell the fans? Maybe 2 months. I think 2 months is a good time when you can tell the fans and the vinyl is already in production, or the cassettes and CDs are already in hand. The album's already uploaded to Spotify. It's in queue, and Apple Music, it's in queue. So summarize, 1 to 2 months for singles, 2 to 4 months for albums. But for you personally as a label, it's a good thing to have about 4 to 6 months from when you have the final mixes in hand to when the album actually comes out. That just gives you so much time to chill out and to get everything in line to plan a great pre-release strategy and plan a great post-release strategy. I hope you found this helpful. Thanks for watching. Go to otherrecordlabels.com/marketing to get a free marketing checklist.